Hi, Juliet. Now, I'm having a big challenge because I had signed up for the PTE exam on the Pearson Test of English platform. And on showing up on the exam morning, I was told that the name on my passport is quite different from the name I used to register for the Pearson Test of English on their platform. And I was told to go back and they will get back to me. But when they got back to me, they had asked me to re-enroll for the exam. Has this ever happened to you before? Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Juliet. I'm a Pearson Test of English tutor. It's been a while here. All right, so these are the kind of questions I've been getting for quite some time now, where the PTE test taker would register for the exam on the Pearson Test of English platform, and when they show up on the test day, and the names on their passport will be different from the name they used to register for the exam. What do I mean? For example, if my name is Juliet Mark, and on my passport there is Juliet Chidoba Mark, okay, but I had enrolled Juliet Mark, so there's discrepancy in the names. These are what people have encountered. So they were asked to re-enroll for the exam and ensure that the name on their passport is the same name on the exam. That's the name they have used to register for the exam. That way you're not going to be spending so much money. So please, if you've been in this boat, this is a solution. Make sure that the name on your passport is the same name that you have used to enroll for the exam. Now, if you fail to do it this way, if you have initials on your passport and you didn't put the initials on your registration platform on the Pearson Test of English, or you omitted a name, you just put your first name and your last name, then there's going to be a challenge. You may be asked to re-register for this exam. Now, re-registering doesn't mean that they're going to transfer the money you had paid for the first test to the second test. No, you're going to be paying an entire new fee for this exam. So again, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And I'm really very sorry for everyone that have experienced this kind of trouble. It's quite difficult, especially when the price of the exam keeps skyrocketing or keeps going up. Okay, I'm really very sorry. I tender apology. I'm actually not the person that this fault is coming from. Pearson should have actually specified this on their website for people. And someone did even tell me that they only have two boxes for names. So actually there are really no names for initials. So I said, okay, if that's the case, what you should do is put your first name, your middle name, and your last name. Okay, that way you're not going to be getting into any trouble. So the short and long of the story is, when you want to register for the Pearson Test of English exam on the Pearson Test of English platform, put all your names as they appear on your passport. That way you will not be asked to re-enroll or re-register for this exam, attracting fresh money, new money that you may not have at that point. I hope this makes sense. What I'm talking about today is problems or challenges on test day. So these are the problem or challenges I have seen people encounter on test day, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. So the first thing I have here is have the same name as you have on your passport on the registration when you want to write the Pearson Test of English. I hope that makes sense. And the second thing I have here is distractions on test day. Now, do not be deceived that you will be the only one in the test hall or on exam day. So most of the times, especially here in Australia, there are always many people writing the Pearson Test of English. Now, I remember when I ever first did the PTE, I was the only one in my whole. So PTE wasn't popular back then in Nigeria. So I had to go to Abuja. I was living in Port Harcourt. I traveled down to Abuja to go write this exam, and I was the only person in the hall. But these days, I know there are more than one person is writing the Pearson Test of English. Especially here in Australia, you don't get to be the only one in the hall. So you might be distracted, especially if you didn't know that you're not going to be the only one in the hall. There are people writing this exam on daily basis. Now, some centers would have people come in the morning and maybe in the evening to write the exam, and there will always be people. So if you did not know before now, do not get distracted, because there could be distraction as you're reading. Some other person is reading, and that way you might get distracted because you may seem to and try to listen to what that person is reading or how that person is reading. So what I would say is prepare your mind before you go into the exam hall. Maybe you can try to practice in a noisy environment. You might try to practice when kids are playing, or you can decide to watch when a movie is playing in the background, just to get yourself used to that kind of setting on the exam day. So the thing I have here is distraction. This is one of the problems or challenges people face on Thursday. It can actually make them to be unsettled on exam day. All right, the third point I have here is anxiety. Now, because it's your first time writing this exam, you could have some, people say I had butterflies in my tummy. Some people say I could not even do anything for the first few minutes. I mean, if you've been in this situation, let me see it in the comment section. I've heard people say I couldn't do anything for the first few minutes when I got into the exam hall because I wasn't sure of what to do, or I totally forgot what to do. Now, listen, you do not have to be full of anxiety when you get into the exam hall. All you need to do is stay focused. Remember why you came there. Remember how much you paid for the exam. Remember how long you have prepared, how long you have practiced, all the sleepless nights, and then why not get it over and done with? That way you're not going to be going to write the exam again, or going to watch YouTube videos, or trying to get a tutor to brush you up. Okay, so if you're anxious, just take a deep breath and let it go, so you can focus on the exam or whatever it is you came there to do. Do not get anxious on your test day. Another thing here is your microphone not working. Some people do not know that if your microphone is not working, you can actually raise your hand trying to signify or signal the test administrator to come over to you. Now, remember, there's a time when you're supposed to test the headset. Now, if you put on that headset and you try to read what is before you, then you try to play it back and you can't hear yourself, and you try to increase the volume of the headset and it's still not working, please just raise your hand. The test administrator is going to quickly come up to you. Okay, when they come up to you, you can tell them that, look, my headset isn't working. And they will try it out. If it's not working, they will just give you a brand new headset. Now, it's very important you check out your headset before your exam starts, because for the speaking module, it's very important your headset is working, because whatever you say is supposed to be transmitted through the microphone into the computer, or however they do it. But for the speaking module, the headset is very compulsory. Somebody did ask me, one of the fresh students I had recently, and he said to me, Juliet, why must we use a headset in the exam? I said, yes, you must use a headset. That is how the exam is designed. So this is a very big challenge for a lot of people. You have to ensure that your headset is working, because if your headset is not working, then your scores will be transmitted. If your scores are not transmitted, then you can't get a score. If you don't get a score for the test, then you would have wasted your time, you've wasted every effort, you've wasted your money for test day. So it's very important you take note of these things I'm talking about. Then another last thing I want to talk about is time management. You do not have all the time. Now, for your speaking and your writing, the time is kind of being managed for you. Let's say, for example, in the speaking module, after one read aloud, which is the first task, you can click submit. Even if you don't click submit or next, the computer has a way of taking you to next. Now, when you get to modules like the reading or the listening, where there's just a blanket time, let's say for the reading, you have between 29 to 31 minutes to finish the reading module. And then you try the first task, try the second task, and you don't want to click next, or that take you to the next task. You're hoping for the computer to take you to the next task. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Your time will be taken out. Like, your time will finish right before you, and you wouldn't have finished the reading module. And the reading module is an important module, because there's some tasks in the reading module that might take your time, like the reading and writing, fill in the blanks, the reading, fill in the blanks, and the read other paragraph, which is a bit logical. Now, they might take your time. So if you want to use like 5 minutes on one question of those kind of tasks, then you'll be taking a lot of your time. So these are things that may start to you, because you may be thinking that the computer will take you to next, and the computer wouldn't take you to next. And that way, your time will just run out and you won't know. So these are the challenges on test day. I hope this video will help you so that you plan your time very well on your test day. Also, you'll be prepared for what you're going to be facing on your test day. Now, if you have any question, leave it in the comment section. Now, I just want to round up by saying even your pen, the pen or the ink they give to you on your test day might also be faulty. These are the things you check out on your test day before you start the exam. But the first one I have said, if your name you use for registration is different from the name on your passport, just be rest assured you're not going to be writing the exam on that same day. You have to register and you have to pay more money or new money for you to be able to write the exam. I hope these things will help you. I had to do this video because these are problems that some of my students have encountered recently, and I decided to make this video. So for you that is a new test taker, you take note of these things before you write your next exam. Now, if you're new here, please remember to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, remember to give me a thumbs up for this video, and I'll see you in my next video. You take care. Bye.